Hello, everyone, and welcome back to part three of the Pokemon tier list. Base set and fossil. Um, has been a while, a little bit actually. Haven't been uploading lately. A little bit busy, but um, yeah. Let's get into this. Just the first off, I did record this uh before, and unfortunately the recording, the audio was messed up and completely mute. I don't know why. Could be just an error, but yeah, I just had to reset. You didn't miss much, honestly. But I did reorganize, and I re-put everything back to normal. And the recording I said, I think I put Venom off over Vaporeon, so I don't know. But anyways, and also Scyther being not on top because Fable's top, in my opinion. But let's get into the tier list that is now banished. But let's get into this. Articuno. Articuno is definitely, I mean, pretty much the highlight of Rain Dance in some ways. It definitely made Rain Dance a huge viable meta deck for many people to use. So I gotta give Articuno for some props. And the reason why is because of its moves. Freeze Dry, Flip a Coin. It has a chance to paralyze the defending Pokemon, so that's pretty good. For free energy, 30 damage, and then Blizzard for 4 water energy. You have to flip a coin, and if it's heads, you can actually deal 10 damage to all of your opponent's bench Pokemon, so that's insane. And does 50 damage to the defending Pokemon. So that, honestly, Blizzard, Freeze Strike, pretty good moves. In other decks, yeah, probably not too great, but I think it's somewhat decent outside of Rain Dance. Um, I mean, the downside is that Blizzard, if it's Tails, if you did not get lucky, you deal damage to your own bench Pokemon. So that is a downfall for Arcuno. Especially also being other decks, but it does incredible in Rain Dance. There's no doubt about it. Plus resist fighting, has 70 HP. 70 HP was just the catalyst for most basic Pokemon. You just place it right from the start. Has no weakness. Yeah, it's just really good. It's just outside, not so great. It's only good in Rain Dance, so that is a problem. But honestly, Rain Dance dominated the meta because of Blastoise and Articuno. So I'm gonna put an A over top Moltres because Moltres is a little bit downer than Articuno when it comes to that Rain Dance status. Is just huge. But I wouldn't say S because obviously there is flaws. Its moves is pretty expensive outside of Rain Dance. And yeah, Rain Dance definitely does justice for both of these Pokemon. And speaking of Rain Dance, we're gonna rank Blastoise. And I'm pretty sure you can predict which Blastoise is going to be, but we're just going to talk about Rain Dance in general. Now, Rain Dance being the whole thing for this deck is insanely good for what it is. You can place so much water energy onto a water type Pokemon without any limit. So, for example, you could just put 8 water energy onto Blastoise, and you'd be cruising. Energy removal wouldn't be as big of a problem. Well, it still can be, but man, you could just place so much energy onto one Pokemon. It's insane. So yeah, Rain Dance back then it was broken. Absolutely busted. Hydro Pump, also pretty good. Although you are limited to 60 damage, which is still very great for what it is. Um, and it's definitely for game balance sakes. Because if there's no game balance, I'm pretty sure Blasters would dominate meta by now. By a huge ton, if it didn't have a limit on Hydro Pump. But yeah, there is a reason why. Of course, free water energy, dealing 40 damage for its basic attack, and then you can add 2 more water energy, adding a total of 60 damage with 5 water energy in total. And that's the max. You cannot go up higher. You cannot increase it unless you use plus power. You can still put like tons of water energy on Blastoise, right? But yeah, it is exponentially dominating the meta. The only problem is that it's a stage 2, so obviously it's going to take a while. You got to get your resources built up to get those Squirtles, War Turtles. But we all know Pokemon Breeder is clutch. Most stage 2 are kind of hard to come by. But when you have Pokemon Breeder, this is not even a problem. You have Pokemon Breeder, couple of War Turtles, maybe like 2 copies, or even 1. But yeah, honestly, you'll be dominating with Pokemon Breeder because if you have Squirtle, you can just straight up evolve it to Blastoise with Pokemon Breeder instantly. With War Turtle, you just gotta wait for like 2 turns, which in some cases it is very slow. It's a slow process, but yeah, that is the downside of Blastoise. It's just a stage 2 Pokemon, and that's really it. Also, this is just a personal preference, but why is Blastoise weak to lightning? Like, shouldn't it be like weak to grass? I don't know. It's just like it's so confusing because Gyarados is super weak to lightning. Spoiler alert. And Gyarados is weak to grass, and I don't know. I don't know what was Wizard Coast cooking, but they probably weren't in the right mindset at that time. But yeah, it just kind of irritates me a little bit. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm pretty sure it's not just me. But anyways, I think I'm gonna put Blastoise right here. Because I think Muck is just, I mean, it can just disable Rain Dance. Then you're screwed. Simple as that. You're screwed. Alright, anyways, that's Rain Dance for you. On to Jungle Electro. Actually, I did mention my delayed video, Fossil Electro, but yeah, that was totally stupid for me. Just a little mention behind the scenes, but I did say Fossil Electrode, even though it clearly says the sign of jungle, but anyways, uh, jungle electrode. You mentioned that chain lightning is not that great. Most likely you're just gonna use tackle because if you have a double colorless energy, you're all good. You're set to go. You can deal damage for 20 damage. But for chain lightning, I mean, it's a great additional pivot against bench Pokemon with the same typing to the active, but I don't know. It's kind of situational. Yeah. Um, I just don't see it as a viable Pokemon in general. So I'm going to put it below Vaporeon, but above Snorlax and Dugtrio because those guys, they just have a high cost on the attack, and clearly Electrode has 2 double cups energy, straight up get the attack, and 20 damage, decent enough. The other's just too costly, like freaking 4, right? I mean, thick skin is it can be clutching sometimes, but yeah. And these 2 Pokemon, they do resist something, but I just think like getting attacking is just more important. But anyways, we move on to Ivysaur. Ivysaur has Vine Whip for 1 grass energy and 2 double colorless. Double colorless. It does 3 damage. You get the point. Poison powder. Auto poison, 20 damage for free grass energy. I believe I have a 60 HP. So it's not too much, but it's decent enough. This one is alright. I think I put it right there because of Farfetch. You just straight up deal 30 damage for 1 colorless energy. So I think that's absolutely insane. Where Ivysaur, you just gotta wait, and yeah, you can't attack on the first turn. So I'm gonna put it below Farfetch. Okay, this is where I left off. Arbok, Terra Strike. It's basically kind of like Whirlwind, but you have to flip a coin. Does 10 damage. Yeah, it's alright. I mean, for 1 grass energy, that's pretty decent. Poison Fang, 2 grass energy and 1 colorless gets you auto poison and 20 damage, so that's decent also. It also has a good amount of health, 70, I think. I don't remember the HP too much, but I think Arbok is it's decent. It's not groundbreaking. So I think I'll rank it. I think I would put it. I mean, it can definitely attack on this. Plus, you're not always gusting. So, I'm gonna put it right there for now. Yeah. Then again, I don't know. Farfetch is kind of better, right? Yeah, I think Farfetch is just kind of clutch in some ways. I know it's based on chance, but man, Farfetch can be clutch. A little bit underrated. All right, Jinx. This is where we left off. Double slap, flip 2 coins. This attack does 10 damage times the number of heads. Okay. All right. So at max you're just doing 20 damage. That's alright. Meditate does 20 damage plus 10 more damage for the added damage counters on the famed Pokemon. So that's actually pretty good for what it is. Yeah, 2 Psychic Energy and 1 Colorless. It does 20 damage for its basic attack. And you're dealing an extra 10 damage for each damage counter on the defending Pokemon. So similar to other Pokemon that I haven't mentioned. But yeah, 70 HP, big basic, pretty underrated. I think not many people use Jinx or talk about Jinx a lot, but it does well in some decks, but not as well as the other Pokemon that's going to be in this tier list. But it does do somewhat decent. So I'm gonna put it. Where should I put it? I think. I think it's above Lapras. Yeah. But then you get Double Slave, you're dealing nothing. So. Okay, maybe Lapras is better. But it is better than Farfetch, I think. Alright. Cloyster. Don't know much about Cloyster, actually. Let me see. Climb, flip a coin if heads. The defending Pokemon is now paralyzed. If tails, this attack does nothing. Not even damage. Oh, okay. So, if heads, you can definitely paralyze. Tails, you do nothing. Not even damage. Okay. So 2 moves requires 2 water energy, which is interesting. So you can choose between the moves. 30 damage for clamp, and also paralyze. If only heads. Spike cannon, flip 2 coins. This attack does 30 more damage of the number of heads. Okay, so alright, so you have to flip 2 coins. If heads, if both heads, you do a total of 60 damage. If you get no heads, 0 damage. Okay. So you can choose between the 2 moves. Most of them is just luck based. I don't know how I feel about that. And Cloyster has 50 HP, which, that's not good. That is not good for a stage 1 Pokemon. Yeah, pretty much below average. Cloyster is just, it's just not good. I do like it gives you a choice on which move you can use, but it's just based on chance. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel, actually. The fact that it's based on chance is just risky in general. Plus, Cloyster doesn't have much health. It's not going to survive as long. Yeah, it's not. Oh, man. Yeah, I think I'm going to put a bottom C, actually. Or should I put a D? Oh, man. I just don't see Cloyster to be viable. Because both of the moves are based on chance. I just don't like that. Yeah, I think it has to be in D. Right? I kind of feel bad. Okay, I'm thinking bottom C. Let's just say bottom C. And I just don't feel right about putting Cloister in D. Doesn't feel good. All right, Kadabra. Alright. Cover 2 psychic energy to heal, fully recover. Discard 1 psychic energy. But super Psy. Oh boy. 2 psychic energy and 1 colorless. You doing 50 damage? Man. That's huge. That's absolutely powerful. Wow. And this is the stage 1 of Alakazam, so you can have like a choice between Kadabra and Alakazam if you want to have damage swap, or you can just deal massive damage, like Super Psy, whopping 50 damage onto defending Pokemon. That's huge. Wow, and it has recover. Kadabra doesn't have really too much HP, 60, but damn, Super Psy can dish out tons of damage right there. The funny thing is that it can't really retreat based on its free retreat cost. I don't know why. It should have been 2, but for some reason it's just free. I don't know. It's just like weird phenomenon with the Wizard Coast era. Some of the cards they just have whack like error kind of. It's the same thing with like Blastoise weak to lightning, right? And then Kadabra having a free retreat card. It's it. Come on. Clearly, the Wizard Coast era, they were not in the right mind. Clearly. All right. Anyways, side notes aside, I think Kadabra is definitely a great alternative if you choose between Alakazam. And you could use Kadabra as like a damage pivot. Yeah, that's pretty good. The only problem is that you can't really attack on your first turn, but still. You can still survive. I mean, you can still get to somewhere. Um, hmm. I think I gotta put a top of B, actually. I think it's better than Charmeleon in some ways. Yeah, definitely. For sure. Oof. It's huge. All right, Butterfree. Whirlwind. All right, so it's the same as Pidgeotto. Okay. Unfortunately, that's his first move. Mega Drain. Remove a number of damage counters from Butterfree equal to half the damage done to the faint Pokemon. After applying weakness, resistance, run up to the nearest 10. Okay. That's interesting. So it heals like half of the damage counters that you have taken. So you get to heal after doing damage. So you round it to the nearest 10. And depending on how much you deal, you heal from that damage to Butterfree. If that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making it complicated, but that's what it says. All right. Very costly. But does deal a pretty good amount of damage. 40 is pretty well off. And you're healing, so that's a fair point. So if you're dealing 40 damage, you'll gain like 20. So it's like half of it. Half the damage to, yeah, done to the defending Pokemon. Yeah. So you're just healing about 20 health. So that's decent. And resist fighting. Can't ever see the retreat cost. I think it's free retreat. I'm not sure. Can't see the retreat cost. I think it's free retreat. Wow. Okay. Resist fighting, I believe, has 70 HP or 80. I think it's 80, yeah. Because Beedrill is also 80. Because they both have the similarities. It's definitely not better than Beedrill, I gotta say. Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not better. It's kind of. It's pretty bad. Whirlwind's not that great, to be honest. Mega Drain is just really costly. The only good thing is that it resists fighting, free retreat cost, 80 HP, but that's really it. I mean, Whirlwind can be clutch sometimes, but honestly, if that's your main move, yeah, that's not good. That's not good to rely on. So I'm going to put it. Yeah, it's not really good, actually. So unfortunate. It's a stage 2 Pokemon. Holy jeez. Yeah, it's below C. Because Psyche is still. I mean, you can still do damage. Whirlwind, you're just like fumbling up everything. Yeah. I'm not sure. I just don't think it's good. Yeah. I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry, Butterfree. You're just not as good. Alright, Ghastly. Fossil Ghastly. Alright. The better Ghastly. Just a side note. 50 HP. Lick, flip a coins. If has, get a chance to paralyze. Does 10 damage as well. That's pretty nice. Energy conversion. Put up to 2 energy cards from your discard pile from your hand. Ghastly does 10 damage to itself. Oh, after doing so? Okay. Alright. So, energy conversion. Pretty good pivot to reusing energy from your discard pile. So that's really good for that. If you really need energy desperately in a timely manner, energy conversion can do the trick for 2 psychic energy. Of course, the only downfall, you do damage to Ghastly in a result, but hey. And it has an attack, so that's pretty good. It has no weakness, resistance to fighting, retreat cost is nothing. 0. Wow. Ghastly, this Ghastly is, wow, so much better. Yeah, this is pretty good. Yeah, this is great. Definitely. I don't know if it's A actually, but I'm pretty sure you could use it outside of Gengar or like its evolutions. So it has a versatile move set. They could use it in different scenarios. So I think I'm gonna put it. I think I'm gonna put it right there. I think. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna put it right there. I think that makes sense because you could just like put it in any deck because the energy conversion you could just like use it as like an energy retrieval type of Pokemon. It has no weakness. It can resist fighting. And you can just retreat it. I mean, you could go all around. You could attack on the first turn. That's pretty good. Paralyze, best status effect in the game. No doubts. Kakuna. Man, I can't believe Wizard of Coast made Kakuna pretty strong actually, because it has 80 HP, which is insane for like a stage 1 Pokemon. Stiffen, which is basically harden, requires two colorless energy. Flip a coin events, prevent all damage. Done to Kakuna during your opponent's turn. Next turn, play after effects of attacks will be okay. So effects will still happen, but prevent damage. Okay. So yeah, that's basically harden. Yeah. Poison powder, flip a coin. If heads, the fighting Pokemon is now poison. So auto poison, add to it. Wow. Does 20 damage. Who would know Kakuna can actually deal damage? Even though it's supposed to be a cocoon based on his name. Yeah, that's pretty busted, huh? I mean, Kakuna got it going. Yeah, you have like 2 choices right there. If you have 2 grass energy, you need to choose between stiffen and poison powder. You're doing damage. That's pretty huge. Yeah, that's wow. Huh. It's pretty insane actually. Hmm. Is it better than Kadabra? Is it better than Kadabra? Kadabra could do so much damage. Holy moly. I don't think so. But I'm gonna put it over Charmeleon. Yeah. Yeah, Kakuna. It definitely has it going right there. Damn. Who would know a cocoon Pokemon can be so good? Dodrio. Oh man, there's so much Pokemon. I think we're getting near to the end. Let me see. is an overview of what's left. Dodrio. All right, retreat aid. As long Dodrio is in your bench, less costs on the retreat costs on your active Pokemon. All right, so it -1 retreat costs onto the active. As long as Dodrio is on the bench, you should be fine. So that's actually really good. Rage does 10 damage plus 10 more damage. Depending on how much damage counters on Dodrio. So if Dodrio has, let's say, 50 on it, which Dodrio has 70 HP, it'll be doing 60 damage because its base attack is 10. So you'd be doing 60 damage, which is pretty good. So it's like a punishment if your opponent does too much damage and then you get punished. Plus it resists fighting, so that's really good. And retreat cost is nothing. Free retreat cost. Insane. And it's a stage 1 Pokemon, which is really, I mean that's pretty good in my opinion. Yeah, no drill. Yeah, it can do the job done. Very versatile. It can be pretty much used in any deck, I think, in my opinion. I think it's gonna be I think somewhere around here. I mean, Retreat 8 is just pretty good in some ways. And Rage too. So I'm gonna. Is it better, Electro? Yeah. I'm sorry, Electro. You're just a double rainbow energy right there. Dodrio got it going. Because Dodrio, I mean, it can be just very versatile on based on the scenario you use. Like if you tremendously want your Pokemon to retreat, yeah, it can definitely save your Pokemon from getting knocked out in some ways, or even just want to change of plans in general. And you can make that Pokemon free retreat. By itself, Dodrio can handle itself pretty well. Rage, punish for your opponent for dealing more damage. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty well. It's not too costly. Free colorless energy. I mean, that's no difference from Wigglytuff. So, yeah. All right. Golbats. All right, almost 40 minutes. Golbats has wing attack. Okay, pretty basic. Leech life. Remove a number of damage counters from Golbat equal to the damage done to the famous Pokemon after applying weakness of Pokemon. If Golbat has fewer damage counters, then this remove all. Okay. So Leech Life also applies weakness and resistance. All right. Damage counters so Golbat equals to. Okay, so equals to damage done. So this is definitely better than Butterfree because it's not as costly. Just 2 grass energy and 1 colorless. Does 20 damage. So it'd be healing itself 20 damage. Alright. I don't know if that's. Okay, so if it's super effective. Double that, you'll be healing your Golbat 40, I believe. And if it's resisted, you'll be healing 10. Yada yada yada. It's equal to the damage you're done to the defending Pokemon. Alright, and resist fighting. I mean, it's definitely better than Butterfree. I could definitely assure you that. That's, I believe, 70 HP, I think. Yeah, can be pretty versatile, I must say, for this Golbat. Yeah, it's just pretty well off. Yeah, I think it's definitely around B. But I don't think so. It's better than Kakuna. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely better than Charmeleon. I would say so. Definitely around there. All right. I think we're gonna rank one more Pokemon. Then we end it off for this video. All right, Machoke. Machoke. 80 HP, that's pretty good. Unfortunately, that's all it has. Its moves, let's just read it. Karate Chop does 50 damage, but every time you use it, minus 10 damage for Karate Chops. So every time you use Karate Chop, it will dwindle down 10 for each Karate Chop you use. So, for example, your first Karate Chop, 50 damage. Second, 40. Third, 30 damage. You always get the gist. And then once after 6 turns, I believe, using Karate Chop, you're dealing 0 damage. Absolutely nothing. So Karate Chop, I don't know. It's also kind of costly for its first attack, so I'm not sure about this. And Submission, Machoke does 20 damage to itself, which, I mean, you could definitely use Defender for this, but man, I don't know. 2 moves are pretty punishing. I guess Submission in some ways is not bad, but man, it's just. I'm sorry, Machoke. Because both moves are pretty costly. And they both have downsides. Similar to Growlithe. No, not Growlithe. Arcanine. Similar to Arcanine. But at least Arcanine, you won't be having consequences too much. Because Flamethrower. Actually, Flamethrower is kind of like a consequence. Yeah, but Karate Chop is worse. Yeah. Man. Personally, I'm not a big fan of Choke. Ugh. I think Arcanine is just way better. Yeah. I think I'm gonna put it right there. I don't know. I think I'm gonna put it right there. For now. Anyways. Alright. Alright, I think that's it for the video. We're gonna rank and continue on for part 4. Okay, I don't know how long this is gonna last. Holy moly, I just don't know, but yeah, it's still a lot, actually. Anyways, let's end it off. I see you guys in part 4. Hopefully. See ya.